Hello, I'm Jason Lim. Welcome to Inside City, an interview show produced by the students of San Diego City College. Each week, we are talking to the newsmakers of the campus. Today, we're going to talk to Michelle McCurdy, a nurse practitioner from the Student Health Center. But first, we are going to learn more about what is available to the students here at City College.
City College students don't have to leave campus to get help with health services. The Student Health Center at San Diego City College offers 2 clinics for well-being. You can find the Student Health Center in the center of campus in Building A. All services are free or low cost and available for current students and faculty. Some of the services offered include mental health counseling, crisis intervention, wellness workshops, and individual counseling are all options. The center also offers several basic primary health services such as physical exams, lab tests, and pregnancy testing. Flu vaccinations will also be offered spring semester. If you need more information on health insurance, the clinic can provide that for you. For more information on the Student Health Center, visit sdcity.edu and search Student Health Center.
Hi, Michelle. We're very excited to be speaking with you today. Thank you for taking the time to join us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Let's start off with learning more about the Student Health Center. We know there are a lot of resources offered. What is currently available to students?
So our Student Health Center functions very much like a regular physician's office with the added bonus of actually having mental health services as well, which we can touch on later. But the clinical side, the medical side functions very much, like I said, like a regular physician's office where you can come in with any health issues that you have. We have a registered nurse that sees all the students that come in. So if you want an appointment, you can actually be seen the same day or the next day, but you will always be able to see the registered nurse. So whether or not you need a note for class, you need labs drawn, if you want to have a blood test, if you just want to get a physical, if you just want to have a health screening, if you have any random, just any health questions whatsoever, if you have a cold, you have asthma exacerbation of some kind, basically any health issues, we are happy to, at least if we can't help you, we will know exactly where to send you.
That's really amazing to hear about all the breadth, I guess, that's offered at the Student Center, stuff that I didn't even think to go there. Now, I hear students don't necessarily need to be physically sick to come to the health center. What else does the center offer to students beyond medical resources?
Yeah, one of the biggest things with health, of course, is prevention. We know that prevention is hugely important, and that's where we can really serve our students. So, if a student is concerned about if has any health questions, they can come in and talk to us and ask questions. If they have insurance, but they're unable to get in with their regular doctor, and they've got, say they get lab results and they're not really sure they don't really understand them, they can come in and we can review them with them. We have condoms, free condoms that we give out that students can come in. We've got female products, sanitary products for women that students can come and get. So we have a range of services that aren't just limited to illness. And we have, I've done some talks on campus, educating on STDs. We're all faculty, so we do have that education component. So if any professors want us to come visit the classroom and talk about any topic that their students want to hear about, we are happy to come out.
Again,
well.
so impressed with the breadth that's offered by the Student Health Center. At City College, I hear that the Mental Health Center recently merged with the Student Health Center. What are some of the reasons and benefits for that collaboration?
Yeah, well, as we know, health is really, we're trying to look at things from a holistic perspective, right? Mental health and physical health are all health, and we want to treat it as such. And we also want to reduce the stigma, so students aren't going to, quote unquote, the mental health center only, and they may feel like, well, if I'm going there, then everybody thinks that I'm crazy or something's wrong with me. And so we really want to destigmatize that. We want to recognize that health is a body and mind issue, and then it also helps us as as we collaborate. If I have a student that comes in for a sore throat, for example, and then happens to reveal in the course of our conversation that they're feeling really depressed, but we typically have a counselor that's assigned to our clinic that doesn't have any appointments for that day, that's free, that I can just go and say, hey, you know what, we have a counselor right away that can come talk to you and kind of get you kind of screened and get you an appointment, get you set up with our center. And most of the time the student's really willing to, and this is the moment that we can intervene, is right when it's happening, as opposed to sending the student yet to another office or having them call and make an appointment, because then oftentimes the risk is that that student doesn't come back. So the fact that we can intervene then and there is really valuable to both the students and the staff. And then it works the other way around. If a student, gets seen at mental health and they have a health concern, then, they can just walk the student over to us, or they can call us. So it's really been so nice to be able to work collaboratively with mental health.
So impressive. I really feel like sometimes that mental health component is missed in other clinics, so it's great to see that collaboration offered here at City College. Now, the Student Health Center also hosts events like Ask a Nurse. Can you tell us more about these events?
Yeah, so one of our nurse practitioners, especially in the time of COVID, we were trying to find creative ways to reach out to our students. And so one of our nurse practitioners, my colleague, Debbie Helm, she has, on the days that she's working, she's adjunct faculty, as am I. She has, on the days she's working, she has a half an hour Ask a Nurse Zoom session where students can just come in and ask, any questions at all, COVID questions, especially now because of all of the concerns around the vaccine and whatnot. We just want to, improve communication and reduce any anxiety related to that. And then I have my own session that I have on one of the days that I work, and it's called the Healthy Lunch Bunch. It's the Zoom links for both of these are on our website, and just to help with nutrition. So that's one of my interests as a nurse practitioner, is nutritional health, because it is really the foundation of all health. So much of our health problems are lifestyle, issues pertaining to lifestyle. So if we can work on eating healthy, then that really makes a difference in terms of long-term health. So that's one of the things I have. And I have it's open to faculty and staff as well as students. And, students can come in. It's not a requirement to stay the whole time or come consistently every time, but it's just sort of a support group where we can all talk about what we're eating, how can we eat better, what kinds, so we just have a range of topics that's really led by the people that come to the discussion, and I answer the questions.
Oh my gosh, Michelle, all really great information. I'm gonna have to look into attending one of those lunch bunches. But we're gonna go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more about the upcoming flu season and why this year might be a little different.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes, and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Welcome back to Inside City. We are back with our guest, Michelle McCurdy.
Hello.
Michelle, the past 18 months have been atypical in regards to the flu season. How have you seen this? How does the Student Health Center usually handle that flu season in normal times?
Well, in normal times, when all the students are on campus, we typically send out information letting students know we've got the flu shot, reminder to get your flu shots, come in and, have us answer any questions you have, a lot about prevention and maintaining your health, especially through midterms and final exams when students tend to get the most sick. So we're really struggling at this time with so few students on campus trying to get that message out, but we're here nevertheless.
So impressive. Thank you for doing that. I'm sure all the students appreciate that. The Student Health Center is also on track to provide seasonal flu shots again here in the spring. How effective is that going to be, since we usually see flu shots given around the fall?
Yeah, so ideally, this flu shot will be given in the fall. But considering, the low traffic on campus, it just didn't make sense for us to have flu shots and have them expire and not be used during that time. So we're looking at having flu shots hopefully in the spring when we all come back, when we can really ramp up and have more students come on in to the center. So, but in general, obviously, yeah, it's definitely more useful to have it in the fall, but we're trying to get the message out and just let students know. Most students are eligible for Medi-Cal. The county, I believe, does give free flu shots, so we're really referring as many students as possible when they do reach out to us to tell them to make sure they get their flu shots. It's important, and even more important this season than most, simply because we've all been sort of indoors and staying away from each other and socially distancing, and so we don't have the normal immunities built in that we normally have throughout the year. So we are a little bit more susceptible to having a bad flu season this year than most.
All right, so just to be clear, how will students reach out to the Student Health Center if they want to?
Yeah, so they can call us and leave us a message. We check our messages every day, pretty much every hour. For the most part, 1 to 2 hours, we check those messages, and we're really good at getting back to our students and letting them know. So they can call us. We also have a Google form on our website right now, although we may get rid of that in the springtime. We just had during the pandemic to have another way for our students to reach us, but that's still going to be up there through December, that they can just put their name in and their information. We can email them or call them to have another alternative way for our students to get a hold of us.
Wonderful. Thank you for those resources.
That's checked regularly as well.
Thank you for those resources. The San Diego City College has announced it is fully reopening in January. As more students now come back on campus, what are some personal hygiene tips they should bring with them to the classroom?
Yeah, so I think everyone's pretty well equipped with hand sanitizer, but it's always a good idea to bring your own hand sanitizer. Obviously we're still going to be masked, I would think, unless something drastic changes. So those are the main things you want to bring: is your hand sanitizer, your mask, and then obviously just making sure you're eating healthy. That's really the best way one of the best ways to maintain health is to make sure you're eating and sleeping, keeping your hands away from your eyes and nose and mouth. All of those things add up. There's not one single thing that's going to prevent us from getting sick. It's just an aggregate of all of these little pieces put together that promote health.
That's great. I definitely need to take that advice about eating healthier. Thank you so much, Michelle, for joining us. That was some really great information, and we do appreciate your time for stopping by on Inside City.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Wonderful. To learn more about City College Student Health Services, please visit sdcd.edu and search for Student Health Center. That's all we have for tonight's edition of Inside City. Remember to follow SD City Times on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Thank you for joining us, and have a good night.